All right, welcome everybody. Thanks for coming in. We've got Mo and Jenny from Popcorner, and basically what happened in their journey with us is they went from like high 70 prime cost down to 58, which has basically added 20K a month to their bottom line. Not only that, they're able to take vacations, they're feeling less stressed, and they're just overall enjoying life more and seeing more potential in their business. So welcome, guys. I'm just going to switch the view over here. So tell me a little bit more about what things were like when you guys first started with us. Like, what brought you in and kind of made you want to join on with us?
Well, we knew we needed to make some sort of change with us and being on the same page and having systems in place and better hiring practices, and ownership just checked those two boxes off for us.
Okay, awesome. And what we were talking about before is like financially, what were things like for you guys?
Definitely stressful. Not 100% being able to, take our own paychecks. Worrying always, like, do we have enough money in the bank to cover, this tax bill that's coming up, every month. And, we've been able to refine our pricing and keep our cost down, income and up, and being able to not worry about that bank balance.
Yeah. And that's just such a huge stressor for most people, being like, I don't know. Do we have enough to make payroll? Do we have enough to pay that sales tax that's coming out? Do we have enough to pay ourselves? We've got to pay our own mortgage. Like, is that kind of where you guys were living for a little while prior to this?
Yes.
Yeah. There was a lot going on, personal life stuff, and we were working in the business instead of on the business. So we just didn't really have the time to keep on top of it as much as we should have.
Yeah, because you guys are basically in the kitchen, on the line every day. And that's basically what life was like. How can you run a business when you're spending 60 plus hours a week, literally, making food? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. So tell me a little bit more about that was then and here we are now. So today, what are some of the things you're most proud of? What are some of the wins? What are the things that you've experienced having worked with us for the last, however long it's been, say 4 or 5 months or so?
Well, besides being able to get our prime costs down, like you mentioned, we've put in the systems that, we learned more about in the program. Having the right people in place to have those systems work. And, one of the wins has been, our ability to take some time off, and rely on our team to do things the right way.
So Jenny, has he been a different guy?
Yes, he's a lot stressed out.
I don't mean to call you on the carpet there, but you know what? Like, when you're stressed, it's tough to think about anything else. So to have more time, and I heard you guys took a vacation too. Where'd you guys go?
We went on a cruise to Grand Cayman and the Bahamas, sat on the beach.
Yes.
Got some sun.
It was fantastic.
And were you like worried about work all the time, or were you confident that the team had it? Like, how did that go?
Confidence.
Yeah.
And when we came back, there were some issues, but everything ran smoothly.
They took care of stuff that came up.
Yeah.
We had a cooler go down, and they, got on the list, called the, repair company. And the only reason we knew about it is when we got back to the mainland, we got an email that said, here's
Fair enough. You know what? And what's so great about that is I remember the days in my own journey, and I hear this from clients all the time, that it's like you tried to get out of town and you didn't even make it past the city limits before you got a call of something going wrong. And even if you're on vacation, you just have constant stuff coming in, it's just like all of that. And just to be able to actually take a break, actually disconnect and really recharge and reset, especially in a marriage, is a huge thing. So, guys, I'm proud of that. So I want to turn this over to Ben for a second. Ben has been working hand in hand with these guys. And so, Ben, tell us a little bit about what are some of the biggest things you've noticed from the journey and some of the things that you're most proud of as a coach.
Yeah, I mean, from, I don't know how much credit I can take. I think Mo and Jenny from day one really did the work that needed to be done. And so my hat is off to them. We discussed what needed to be done. Here are the next logical steps, and they took that ball and they ran with it. But one thing that I think that a few things that they were really able to implement well is, number one was the hiring system very quickly. They took our hiring system, they implemented it right away, and they got good people through the door that freed them up to work on the business as opposed to in the business. And so once we were able to do that, we could focus on and really drilling down and screwing down the prime costs, introducing third-party platforms into the business to generate some extra sales, making sure that the pricing on their wholesaling was where it needed to be. And that's one step at a time that takes careful consideration, because it's a delicate balance about, really hitting that sweet spot. How much are we charging? Is it enough? And, we don't want to alienate guests. So it's a very fine line, but they found that fine line, and now they're reaping the benefits of implementing all of those kind of systems.
Beautiful, beautiful. So guys, tell me, if someone's watching this right now who is struggling to make ends meet, just the same way that you guys were, like, worried about cashing your own paychecks, worried about the sales tax coming up, worried about all of those things, and they're like, there's this Andrew guy, and he's got this team of people, and they can work with us. And like, if they're considering that, what would you say to someone that was in your shoes right before you started? What would you say to them now, looking back on that?
Just do it and jump in. I was kind of on the fence for a little while, and Mo had to really talk me into it. And then after I got started, it was like, oh yes, why didn't we do this like when he first mentioned it?
I would also add, it's like, for somebody in that position, you can't afford not to. Honestly, what you guys provide for us has been worth more to me than what we actually pay for. So I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm going to take it as great. But like I said, you can't afford not to. Your business has, and you would have so much more to gain by freeing your time up.
Yeah, 100%. That's actually the number one thing that our clients say, is that you can't afford not to. That is the number one thing, because you come in and you're like, okay, I have to pay for this help. Am I going to be able to afford it? And then a few months later, you're not worried about cashing your own paychecks. You've got more time for you. Everything seems to be working and firing on all cylinders. So guys, like, thank you for saying that, because so many people don't believe it. And then we just have to say it again and again and again, and hopefully they will jump on board, and maybe they'll have a husband to coax them into it. I don't know. But so now that we are here, now that you've accomplished a lot, I want to know what's next for you guys. What's the next thing on the horizon? What are your goals now? Because I'm assuming when you came in, you were just like, I just want to be able to pay myself. I just want to be able to have things, so I have some freedom in my life. And so now, how have your goals shifted, and what's next?
I think that, like, next on the list is making sure that our crew that is super awesome and amazing is, paid well, and they have a good life balance. And that's kind of the next steps. Plus, we've kind of always had this goal of having a second facility to move like all of our popcorn production off site. And, that's going to take a lot of money, a lot of time, finding the right spot. Do we rent? Do we build? That's next on the horizon for us.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. It is the second most common thing that people say, is when they come to me, they say, Andrew, I don't know how we could ever open up a second location. I don't even know how that would be possible with what we've got going on right now. Then flash forward 4 months later, they're like, well, I've been looking at this second location, like it's like clockwork that, 4 months in, like everything changes. So I'm so glad that you guys said that. Oh man, I hear it so much. It's just funny. We can almost pinpoint it with within a couple weeks of when that change will happen. But awesome, guys. So just, thank you so much for being here. And again, thank you for doing the work. And I'm just proud to see the progress along the way. And I know Ben has been bragging you guys up all of the times, and guys, you got to check out what's happening here. And so I love to see it. And guys, I'm just so proud of the progress. And thank you so much for taking the time today. And if anyone has questions, what we can do is we can probably just tag you in this post inside of our group, and they can reach out if they want. Would that be okay with you guys?
Of course,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Perfect. Okay. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you for being here. Ben, thank you for being here. And thanks for watching, guys.
All right, thanks.
Bye. Thank you.